The first week of October and the World Cup is go. But before that, 4 to 5 days of warm-up matches are also scheduled. I was just going through that. It's very interesting. You will know which teams are the best prepared for the World Cup, the favorites, how are they faring. I mean, they may look strong on paper, but is everything gelling out? We'll get to know that during the warm-up matches that will be happening in India. I mean, two of them, I think the matches are happening in Trivandrum as well. Now, before that, let's talk about the Asia Cup final, which will be happening tomorrow. I'm taking threads from two conversations. So the first one, today morning, there was a conversation where we discussed, who's going to be the favorites for the upcoming Cricket World Cup. The second thread was actually a chat from my friend Subin in our school group where he was asking, Sri Lankans are playing in their backyard, their home conditions. Do they have a chance or will India be able to be the Asian champions? The first thought that comes to my mind is, I really don't care. You know why? Because I don't want Team India to, let's say Team India goes on to win the Asia Cup. They become the Asian champions and it will be celebrated. Within the team, the fans will take it to a different level in the social media and all those jazz. I don't want the team to be too complacent before a big World Cup. But the good thing is the World Cup is a huge tournament. It's a tournament that takes a lot of matches spread across the calendar. So, even if there are hitch-ups, every team will have a chance to actually rework their strategies and, come out with a better plan, understand their game as it goes. And towards the second half of the tournament is where teams will have to peak and be come good. That's a very important factor when it comes to big tournaments like the Cricket World Cup. Now, let's talk about the Asia Cup final, shall we? So let's divide the two teams into three or let's say four elements. The first element, we're talking about the spinners first, just because the conditions in the last few games that we have seen in Sri Lanka, the spinners actually dictated how the games were going to be played. If you take the totality of the spin attack, Sri Lanka, they have a very, very good spin attack. Especially, remember, some of their key players are not playing this tournament. We are talking about the Hasarangas who are missing. But again, from the squad, we know that Tikshana will be missing the game. He's injured, but I think he'll be ready for the World Cup. But he won't be playing tomorrow. But similarly, Akshar Patel will also be missed from Team India's squad, but I'm not sure if Akshar will be missed because we have Jadeja and Kuldeep Yadav was rested for last game. That's the reason actually Akshar got to play. Kuldeep will be playing tomorrow, so it's not a huge miss for Team India, but Akshar's fitness will be a very key point when it comes to the World Cup squad. We'll talk about that later. So if you're taking both the spin attacks, Indian spin attack has quality, but the totality of the spin attack, I think Sri Lankans are a tad bit favorites. They have a slight advantage, not by much, because Indian spinners can almost match what the Sri Lankan spinners can do. Now let's talk about the paces. Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami. The quality is different. So when you talk about the pacers, you never know what's going to happen, what pressure does, maybe on both ends of the spectrum. So either pressure can break a player or maybe crunch situations, difficult times, some key big players can come through. So you never know who is going to respond in which fashion. But I think when you look from the outside, when you look at the teams, when it's actually written on the paper, I think Team Indian Pacers, they are definitely stronger than the Sri Lankan Pacers at the moment. Now let's come to point number 3, batters. On their day, who does what, you never know. But Team Indian batting is one of the best in the world. But in the last few years, I have been very vocal about this one point for the last 3 to 4 years. Team Indian batting has let themselves down at several occasions. You know why? Because even today morning in a conversation, in a chat that was happening in Sky Sports, the experts, the pundits were saying that Team India has a problem that they're not playing fearless cricket. But Team India has been going behind this brand of cricket and losing games. See, we know what Rohit Sharma did in 2019, the World Cup that happened back in England. So Rohit Sharma is more than capable of scoring those big 200s and huge scores and making sure the team wins. He will make sure the team reaches a position where it's impossible for them to lose with the kind of bowling also that we have. But the problem is, he's I think happy to score 50, 52 at a strike rate of 150 and out. I would rather prefer Rohit Sharma go at a strike rate of like 90 to 100 in the first 80 to 90 runs, then just take off. He is capable of actually catching up with whatever he has left behind and go score those 180s, 190s, 200s. And then we have quality. So we have to assign certain roles to players and be sensible here. And if Team India is sensible here, we are unstoppable. If Indian batters just don't lose or throw away their wickets, trying to be fearless, trying to be just purely aggressive, but look at the situation, look at the conditions, be sensible and then attack. If that is a scenario, Team Indian batters are unstoppable. Team India will be the definitely front runners even when it comes to the World Cup. So we talked about batting, we talked about spin, and we talked about the pace attack. Now, what's the fourth element, which is strategy and captaincy? I like Dasan Shanaka. Dasan Shanaka he has actually brought something of a different attitude to the Sri Lankan team, which was low on confidence after their big names went missing. The names like, the Jayawardhanes, the Malingas and Sangakaras, when they retired and the team was just losing itself, he brought a sense of togetherness, which is true. But Rohit Sharma proved that, has already proven that he's a master when it comes to captaining a side and all those things. All I want Rohit Sharma to do is just figure out his attitude when he comes out with the bat. But as a captain, Team India, there's a slight advantage. So I think 3 of the 4 elements are in favor of Team India. Team India will only lose the game if the batters self-destruct. Simple. If the batters are playing to their potential, they're not throwing away the wickets. If for example, we saw in the last game, the Sri Lankan spinners bowled an excellent spell. We lost the wickets. I mean, you can't help it when they bowl a great delivery and you're out. Please don't throw away your wickets. So, if you lose your wickets to a few great balls, it's okay. If Team Indian batters are not throwing away their wickets, Asia Cup and also the World Cup could be ours. So guys, before we go, please tell me from your thought line what you think and who is going to be the new Asian champions. Tomorrow it's India versus Sri Lanka. Who is going to win that game? Please write. Why would be appreciated, but at least the who is expected. So do comment.